What is up, everybody? Welcome to one of our new videos. I'm Ivan.
It's a good job, and I'm Mattia, of course, because today is opposite day.
Today is opposite day. Yeah, actually, I'm Matija. Next to me is Ivan. So the local represent team from Zagreb in Zagreb currently. Today we will be discussing some of our deck lists that we played on our last locals. We finally had our local tournament, but this time we organized it so that we played via Discord with our physical copies of cards in the same manner and format as the Card Market online series tournament. Um, while mentioning Card Market, let's take a look at a couple of words about our sponsor.
Card Market is Europe's largest platform for all TCGs. Always find the right cards by buying and selling them across Europe with other players and collectors. Be it singles, boosters, booster boxes, or any other accessories, you name it. Card Market is the place to get them safely, securely, and readily available.
And we're back. So, regarding our own tournament standings, I need to congratulate my fellow Ivan who topped our locals this weekend. I came second, only losing to him, which is quite fun because it's something that happens in mix and match manner. Sometimes I win, sometimes he wins.
Yeah,
Uh,
it always boils down to the two of us.
Yeah, but the fun stuff was that actually our matches and the first and the second place deck list seemed to be also kind of Universe Survival Saga themed. What I wanted to say about this is that I played a U6 kind of an engine, while even played the U7 Invoker build. So let's get into it. First is the deck that I have played, so that topped second. And it was based around the Gotenks leader and the entire Universe 6 engine. Uh, I want to say that I loved playing U6 since it was released. I also won the Store Championship in February with my Broly U6 list, and I always felt comfortable playing the deck. So when Gotenks as the leader I was released, I actually thought of revamping the U6 deck in some way around it. Uh, with the release of set 10, came a couple of cards that actually benefited U6, and this was the main reason for going into it. So, um, for starters, this deck is heavy on arrivals, therefore having a full playset of Son Goku and Hit, and the Bojack Resonant Ages of Destruction, as well as a playset of Champa and Vados. Because of this, I also play the full playset of Zamasu super combos, and I play 3 of the hits rapid movement. The
And can
gen
you please explain to the good people of the internet why don't you have any negates in your deck?
So the thing is, in I wanted to go with with the one energy investment battle cards, so the arrival stuff. And when I added all the cards that I wanted to have in the list, I ended up without having any slots for negates. So it came down to either having 3 Champa the Trickster or 3 slots for a negate. Most likely that would have been the Flying Nimbus. Um, but since the most of the deck, so more than a half, is actually U6, are U6 cards. Both Caulifla, the Bold Sister, can abuse it. Also the Kale, Timid Sister, can abuse it, and all of the cards, so including the Goku hit, the hit, this 7 drop, all of the cards are actually 10k combos that cost 0 while I have Champavados. So the main point was to play Champavados as fast as possible so that basically all of my cards in the deck can be free 10k combos. I always had combo power. I always had free multicolor cards to combo for other arrival targets. And Senzu Bean was just the card that kept extending my plays. I don't have cards like, for example, the Bardock Raiders Warcry. Unfortunately, my anniversary box did not arrive on time, so I could play the Bojack from that anniversary box expansion. Uh, but I played with what I had, and in the end, even the Bojack Resin Agent of Destruction proved extremely useful on my defensive turns, where I managed to just rest cards for 1 energy. And the Goku hit was the MVP of all of my matches, mainly because he's either a dual attacker or a single attacker who restands during the activate battle and just stays on the field as a double blocker.
And
So
basically, yeah, it becomes a double blocker, which when you use a Senzu Bean, he can actually survive a couple of attacks, no matter what. The thing I wanted to ask, why did you decide to play Gotenks? Not because you also have an Invoker deck, you also have a Slug deck. Why did you decide actually to play Gotenks? Why? Because of the surprise factor or what?
it wasn't the surprise factor for against my opponents as much as a surprise factor for me personally. I play tested this deck with Andrea at some point in time. He was the one that liked the deck more than me because I still thought that the deck needs tweaking. But this is actually the list that I used to play against him. He was surprised how this deck can just push for chip damage. Uh, I managed to also uh, usually have a board of 4+ battle cards that either are double strikers, either dual attackers. Even this hit 7 drop was just keep being played for energy, giving extra pressure. Champa the Trickster was extremely useful, especially because Khalifa could search for it. And the deck is just too fun to play because of the low investment you need to give into your plays and a lot of value that you gain for it. And the
Yeah, but of
Gotenks,
course the deck. I'm sorry. The deck has a glaring flaw, and it's the lack of negates. Because although I heard you did play against the Surge Broly, and you beat it with the hit, the 7 drop, I believe. You can actually tell that anecdote because I found it pretty amusing. But we were playing in our match, we're in this together as the card that beats you because none of the stuff has barrier. All of them have less than 20k in attack power, and a victory strike can easily actually kill it.
yeah, I actually think that not having negates in the deck is not that much of a flaw, but I cannot avoid wearing this together at any in any kind of a situation. So that's the one crucial flaw the deck has, that it cannot compete against board wipe. All of my battle cards are 20k or less. 19k is even a worse number to be, because if a leader on an awakened side becomes 20k, none of my battle cards were 19k can just push against one Senzu being the leader or the opponent is playing on
Yeah,
his
but
leader.
basically it happens with every card. Either it does it have 15k or 20k. I mean, the 19ks are basically 15k cards that force your opponent to. You said yourself, you made the deck to do chip damage, so a Senzu Bean, yeah, can do it, but even if it had 20k, yeah, okay, the Senzu Bean, you would still have to combo sometimes to actually push the damage. So 19k is okay. The only thing I see, and I said it before, are the negates, and maybe in one kind of way I would remove maybe one champa and put a put something else in it, like a second cooler, or I would main frost deadly poison or something like that.
Yeah, those are definitely a couple of things that I'm thinking about for future instances of this list. But getting shortly to the side deck, I added two Champa, so the double strikers, just in case that I need a couple of these extra pushes. The Desperate Measures are the only card um, that can nullify Topo in a way. I was expecting Topo in some of the matches, definitely in a match against you, who definitely has them, I believe, in the side. But we will get to that later. Frost's Deadly Poison is the card, um basically another multicolor energy, an excellent counterplay which negates effects, which draws a card. That was actually the card that I had in the side for the Apex Victory Strike.
Of
However,
course.
due to oversight on my end, I did not put that in the side against you in the second match. So
I
that
mean,
that
even if you did,
it wouldn't
I
help. It
managed.
wouldn't help.
Yeah,
Yes.
I managed to use the leader effect. I would probably remove it. But the thing is, the deck is really funny to actually play against because the board gets wider and wider, and the part where Mattia is smiling at you with 3 open energy and a couple of cards played for basically free, arrivaled, then Senzu beamed, and then you just actually just waiting for a counterplay or whenever you actually evoke a combat, he can play anything he actually desires.
Yes, and usually I tend to side out 3 cards from the deck to add 3 cards. That was something of a pattern I saw. So in most of the situations, I removed Champa the Trickster and added any kind of a combination of 3 cards. For example, I would add Release from Evil and 2 Frost Deadly Poison, or maybe the 2 Goku plus another card, or a Black Messiah 2 plus another card. So Champa the Trickster was usually the card that went to the sideboard for something that I thought was needed.
Yeah, that's a good actually. That's a good explanation. I My deck also had the 2 slots. They're basically always free, but their main usage is for the first match when somebody tries to play something, and then I have an answer for it. And if the deck I'm playing against doesn't have, if I don't have a reason to actually keep the card, I remove it and put the other 2 cards or 3. When we come to my list, I will actually explain it.
Yes, so as you mentioned your list, I believe it would be the best thing to go to your list. Of course, people, if you like this list, if you think that you might improve something, definitely help me out. Be sure to leave comments below, uh, because, and of course, try the deck. It's just plain funny for an old U6 deck that is primarily outdated since, I believe, what, set 8 or set 9.
Maybe Sere, but the thing is that people actually forget about the onslaught that the deck can potentially do. So, if you're taking into account our meta, why did you play U6 and why did I play Invoker primarily? Is because we were playing a best of 3 format. So we kind of tried to improve the card markets format with playing on Discord with physical cards, and we put a best of 3 format. So even if they actually, so we're trying to make a foundation for even if kind of a nationals would ever occur in Europe, that it is proven that it could work. So our tournament did not last for more than 3 hours, maybe 3 hours and 20 minutes, just because of the rounds and because of the rotation of the pairings. I mean, but basically, you can actually do a tournament with the best of 3 format. The only thing that you actually need is a stable internet connection. And the main reason we played these decks is because a lot of players here did not manage to actually make decks from set 10. Um, so a U6 deck has a lot of potential just because a lot of people don't have the dormant potentials. So they cannot stop the deck in its tracks. You have to interact with it in the old-fashioned kind of way. Let's put it that way. And if you could actually slide to my list, um, the reason this invoker was built and played is because the people don't have that much of set 10 cards. Even if they did, I would play it. but that's maybe the main reason. If you could see at the list, why I play 4 Royal Condemnations and 3 Emperor's Death Beams. If this was a more set 10 meta, I would reverse it. I would play the 4 Emperor's Death Beams and 3 Royal Condemnation, because the Condemnation does not work in unisons. But then again, I put 2 Vegetas, the 1-drop double strikers, for the blue, because I was testing a lot with a way to remove unison markers in any kind of way. So even if someone would go for a, I don't know, for a game kill with a unison game, giving him double strike, and triple attack or anything like it, I would actually be able to remove the marker. I used absolute confidence, but absolute confidence does not give you combo power. Then I tried. I wanted to put Bardic Resolute, but then again, it's black. You need a blue card, not a red card. You need blue so you can charge it first turn in any kind of way. So I put the Vegeta just because if somebody would decide to play Unisons, I would have reason to respond to it. Put a surprise double strike on it and try to actually win that kind of way. After you establish your board with the Vegeta, the fourth turn you can remove the Unison, or basically obstruct it actually from giving the opponent the win. I used to play 3 Whis, then I contemplated putting 2. Of course, the new Vegeta S4 leader has the Bulma 1-drop, who brings the 1-drop field card into play. Invoker should have something like that. In regards to the people wanting to, I don't know, have Invoker unisons or something like that. No, they should basically just print Bulma for the Invoker to have the Tournament of Power, because colors now have an out. Even if you play anything green, it has an out to the Invoker list. Uh, but to get into the list more, I put three screens
Sorry
because
to interrupt you. Let
I,
me ask just a question because I still haven't adjusted my Invoker list to the set 10 meta in any way, and I played 3 weeks like you have. How did you feel that you were missing maybe the third Whis? Did it ever occur to you that you were missing the tournament arena on turn 1, 2, or were your mulligan conditions lucky to pull the arena or the Whis in the mulligan hand draw?
in every match I played, I had Tournament of Power Arena in the first hand. I hard mulligan for it. Even if I see it in the first hand, I just leave it and mulligan everything else that I don't want or I don't need. So I kind of just I even contemplated keeping 1 Whis for you know just for the sake of it, but I would still keep it. Uh, but I don't know. Looking at a lot of aggro lists and aggro styles of play, Invoker suffers from playing second, and you have to put the Tournament of Power Arena then. So if Invoker had a card like the Bulma, you would actually have the 5k combo power to maybe withstand one attack from the bajillions you could actually get in the face if you're playing against the Jacks. So I would stay at this for now with the 2 Vs and the 4 Turner Power Arenas, but then again, I would maybe shift it. Just remove the Weeses, and even if you don't mulligan and get the Tournament of Power Arena, you can survive for a long time. Uh, in the first match I played against Sandra, he removed my Tournament of Power on the first turn I played it, and I played the remainder of the match without it. It was peculiar. It was funny to play without it, but I managed to do it. And you play it on turn 3 after you awaken. So you have certain sacrifices you have to do regarding your playstyle, but then again, you can actually manage without it. I played against the successor Gohan list that he played on the Card Market Series tournament. Uh, I would like to go over other choices. So yeah, as you can see on the list, I'm playing the Rival Seeker Catastrophic Blow list because it's the best list. A lot of decks have an advantage if you go to combat with them. They can do an arrival. They can, if you're going for a mirror match, they can do the Emperor's Death Beam. But with this kind of build, you have less worries because when you remove all of the options to counterplay the 3-drop, they can't actually do anything to the 6-drop. So when you put it into play, you basically win the game outright. And I managed to do it on turn 5 every game. Uh, even with, I don't know, there was a situation where I didn't have it. I just had to wait for my opponent to burn himself down to 1 life, and then I played a catastrophic blow on 0 battle cards in play. So the 2 Roshi negates are enough for me. I used to play 3, but then again, I sacrificed 1 for the Vegeta. And when I was playing against you, since Gotenks capitalizes on me playing extra cards, I removed the 2 Vegetas and I put the third Roshi that's in the side, and I put in the Whis Coercion just good measure. The 2 wearing this together is really enough. The 1 Apex of Power is the best card that is. If you're playing against, I don't know, I always try to imagine myself playing against a Mecha Kabura, the yellow unison. He doesn't have block, he doesn't have anything, he just shuts everything down. And the 2 Tyrannus costs, they used to be a 3, but I had to make, sacrifice play regarding the catastrophic blow. I see myself removing 1 of the Sleepy Boys out to maybe put in another blue card or a Tyranny's cost instead of it. And regarding the sideboard, so I said the Vegetas were the cards that I was always putting out. The only other thing that I could put out, some if I was playing against a stall deck or a control deck, I removed the third Senzu Bean. The Senzu Bean was really helpful against aggro decks and aggro strategies. So then you have also 3 slots. One of the slots, yeah, I have 1 Whis and Beerus from the draft box, but the card doesn't actually do anything to me, even if I had 2 or 3 of them. If your opponent commits to play and remove your Vegeta, just play a Vegeta the other turn, or just don't play the Vegeta on turn 3. You have a defensive play, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I can vouch for that because as soon as he played the Vegeta on turn 3, I had a Champ of the Trickster prepared just so I can put him to rest mode and attack him on my next turn. Even if I managed to remove the Vegeta from the board, he either has the option to play another Vegeta and have a fourth energy open, or the thing that he also did against me and the specific matchup in his favor, he played We're in this together for 4 energy and just removed my board. So there are workarounds. I felt it on my own skin, and kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I put in 1 Goku in the side, the one that enters combat. I don't know if I would have played against Gohan build or something like that. I don't know, something that maybe it could help. But at the end, I think I'll actually gonna remove it from the sideboard. The 3 topos were if I play against a Vegeks player or something like that. But a good Vegeks player should have the Koitsukais. But because I know our local scene and our local decks, I know that the Kotsukais are basically only in my drawer, not in anybody else's. So I know that I'm basically safe to play Topo against the black deck, not against the blue deck, but against the black deck. One of the Protector of the Peoples is like a negate for the go white strategies. I put it in against you. If I play it against any other deck, I would put the Dark Power Black Messiah instead of the Vegetas. And the Emperor's Dead Beam was if I would come across a deck that plays a lot of unisons, I just swap the Royal Condemnation for the Emperor's Dead Beam. And we are Universe 7 is a cool card, but I don't see the real potential in it. If you main 2 of them, it's okay, but there are not a lot of situations where you can actually play it.
Yeah,
And the Funtan drop is for the mirror match because I didn't know what you would play, and I expected if you played the Invoker, I would have the Fu, so I can win with him. The 3 Rival Seekers are a good number, are a good. It's a good ratio in the deck. Although you realize a fourth one can help you, just because in one part of the game you become overconfident, and then when you combo a lot of attacks, when you're forced to go into combat, he is the card you will drop because he's a 0 cost combo of 10k, and he helps a lot.
yes.
So I would put the fourth one in just because he's a good combo card
That
for a good combo.
that was my thought exactly. When I tried building my Invoker build with set 10 meta or set 10 cards in it, um, I had just a single card that was actually different from your build, and that was a third Tyranny's cost as a 51st card. So your list,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, has 50 cards total.
I'm one of the religious zealots on the 50 card lists. If I put the 51st, I don't know, I should put the 52nd then. The only reason I actually believe in playing the 4 tournament power arenas is because I believe I will draw it in the mulligan because I have 50 cards. Um, and I don't know, people playing Invoker, you have to be good at it. You have to really think about a lot of your plays. And the leader effect, you should use it whenever you have the chance. I would also like to actually talk to you about the Tyranny's cost. The card is great, but then again, the most probable thing you will do is charge it. Uh, the Rival Seekers are 3 because you're. It's a great card to. It's a great number to put it on the. How should I put it? The 3 cards of the Rival Seekers are best because when you put it in a way that you have to play the catastrophic blow play, it's enough. But if you're actually acknowledging the aggro players and the aggro stuff that it does, you have to have the 4 ones. So having the broadside of the meta in your mind, you have to have the 4. But just to manage to catastrophic blow your opponent to 0 life, 3 is enough. So basically, you have to play a playset. If you
mhm.
put the 51st card, yeah, put the playset.
Yeah, even when taking into account something you mentioned before, you said that a card which you would remove from the deck would maybe be the Sleepy Boy, and you would add a third Tyranny's cost instead of it. Maybe an option would be to remove the third Sleepy Boy and add the fourth Rival Seeker, so
Of
that you
course,
at
you
least
also
have.
have the yeah, you have the combo power to do it, and Sleepy Boy can be detrimental into your hand if you don't have an Invoker on board. So
Yeah, that's a problem.
I got stuck with 2 Sleepy Boys in hand when my opponent removed the Vegeta, and then you have a dead card in your hand which you can do absolutely nothing with it. And in one maneuver, I actually managed to negate 2 attacks with Dimension Magic after my Vegeta was beaten, so I can have a Sleepy Boy for the last attack from my opponent. But it's a lot of stuff that has to happen to actually work.
Yeah, and I might have one last question regarding the play style. I know how it went against me, but maybe against other players you played against. Um, regarding the leader's effect, did you use the effect to take 3 different multicolor extra cards to your hand, or to pitch one of your opponent's cards from hand more often? So which was the
So
effect
every
that you
match I
used?
played, so yeah, it was eight, 3 rounds were. There were 3 rounds. I played every match. I played second because I do not have luck on the dice roll, and every match I won 2-0. So basically, this deck played the whole day second against everything, and I'm one of those guys who doesn't like the draw power of the leader. I used it just once to take 3 cards from the warp and the drop to my hand, and I used it in one situation where I knew that the top couple of cards that I looked with the Tournament Power Arena, I knew they were multicolor cards. So I kind of, either dropped them in some kind of way or played them in that turn, so I can take the catastrophic blows from the top of my deck and put them into hand. So that's the only reason I did it. I always use the second effect that makes me look at my opponent's hand and take whatever I want, because that effect actually helps me sometimes more. I mean, I'm just talking from a perspective that my deck actually gave me, because when you have the information about the top cards of your deck, it's better to take something from your opponent because they are already exhausted from the game state, and even take a combo piece or something like that that can help them, and you draw the card. You can draw your next card. So one thing is to have a multicolor extra card that you can take from when you move something from the drop to the warp, and then just reveal it and put it. But when you need a Senzu Bean, when you need a I don't know the Victory Strike, when you need the Goku 6 drop, something from it, and it ends up on the top of your deck, you use the leader's second effect to actually. For me, it's more important to draw that card than to actually remove one card from your opponent's hand.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so people, of course, comment on Ivan's list. Once again, congratulations on your win. Hopefully, I will
Thanks,
not see
man.
this deck in the future, at least on your side. And people, be sure to comment the deck and maybe add your suggestions because Ivan and I are actively trying to improve also Invoker for the new set 10 meta, preparing it for set 11 as well, making something of, let's say, lookout style Invoker.
And one of the lookout patents was the Vegeta Double Striker in here. And the other thing is regarding the set 11 cards, the baby unison looks good for Invoker, but sometimes maybe because it draws you a card, makes your counters free. I mean, you can ditch two cards, ditch the two catastrophic blows that the Goku actually needs. It can actually help the Rival Seeker. Of course, it's a card that is not interactable, at least for now. We can see Vegeta is interactable. People can remove it, but the Unison cannot be removed, especially if it has 5 markers on it. We will test with that. Also, the Broly negate, the red negate. What's it called? Something something Death Ray, Death Beam, something something.
You mean from the 11 set?
So yeah, from the 11th set, the red negate. Yeah, it's great, but we actually found a glaring flaw in it, and that Vegex has cards that have 19k attacks. So the card doesn't actually do anything against it. It could do everything against a deck that has attacks with 20k or more, but if you have something that's so small, it actually doesn't do anything.
Okay. Yeah, so people, that's everything regarding our deck lists. But coming to the next thing that we want to address would be the giveaway that we are having thanks to Card Market, our sponsor. So today we will be announcing the winners of the last raffle that we have with two remaining coupons of €5. We will take the raffle into the account. We will address the winners of the raffle. And also keep in mind that we still have a lot of coupons for new card market users. So for the people who still do not have an account and want to register, people please contact us. We will provide you with a coupon which you can use during the registration steps, and you will be awarded with a €5 card market coupon. So once again, thanks Card Market. And now let's see who the winner is of this giveaway. So let's go. Fingers crossed, Ivan.
Okay, but for who?
I don't know. We're gonna see.
Okay, then maybe this is practically redundant, but okay, I'm still holding him.
And I believe we have the winner for the first one. So that's Milu93. Congratulations,
How? What? What?
Milu93.
Milo 93. Well, that's a peculiar name. Your parents gave you a name with numbers. You're unique.
You're unique. So
Yes.
congratulations, you got yourself a coupon. We will message you regarding it and then spend it wisely. And now let's go to the second and the final raffle coupon that we have for our commenters, for our subscribers, and let's hit it. So this time it is gonna be Luka Frankovacevic. So congratulations, Luka. You got yourself a coupon, and we will message you as well so that you can spend it wisely.
Yeah, don't buy Zamasu cards.
Yeah, don't buy Zamasu cards. Okay, so actually that was everything from our end today. People, be sure to like the videos, subscribe, comment, give credit or disregard something that we said. Everything is a-okay because this
Do
is
not disregard anything that we said. Everything that we said, we are right, and nobody else is right except us. So share this link to talk about us to your family, mothers, friends, girlfriends, or I don't know. If you managed to stay this long with us, then kudos to you.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you very much for staying with us and keep a lookout.
Yes.